Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here because these girls aren't gonna friend themselves. Now that I think about it, that's exactly what they've been doing the whole show. They have been friending themselves, and Rentaro has just had the magic relationship Aikido to be like, yeah, cool. That sounds good, and also, I love you, and I'm going to be really kind to you, and look out for you, and figure out what's going on in your life, and if there are things that are keeping us from being more in love, then I'm going to try to ameliorate those, and if there are things that we could do to be more in love, then I'm going to try to do those, because he's just the bestest boy, and he deserves a bajillion girlfriends who all want to be his girlfriends. In this episode, we get swimsuits. That's what it's called. It's called everyone's favorite, the swimsuit episode. It knows exactly what it's doing and why it's doing it. We are going to look at these characters in swimsuits. I bet Rentaro is going to look at these characters in swimsuits and be like, wow, they're in swimsuits. That's so cute and so cool. And I think that we're going to be fully, like, head first, not gonna fuck around with it or make it, like, weird in its fan serviciness, but instead still just be like, yes, these are girls and they're meant to be attractive and they're in revealing clothing, and that's freaking cool. I bet we're gonna get to choose the swimsuits, and there's gonna be some interactions between them because there will be all sorts of jealousy and stuff, and that sounds like really fertile ground for our boy. God, I keep using words that sound dirty. Really fertile ground here for our boy to interact with these different girlfriends and demonstrate that he cares about all of them despite their differences in, like, body types and stuff like that, right? These are things that really get in the heads of a lot of people and probably aren't that important to Rentaro, but there's some real magic that can happen in making that play out that I'm really excited for. I'm also really excited to see these cute characters in bathing suits because it's cute, and I like characters who are being cute. I also like fan service and stuff. I don't like shitty fan service where it feels like we're just, like, sexually assaulting the characters via the camera, right? Like, when it feels like the camera is groping characters, I've got a bit of a problem like that with that. We're just, like, in a conversation and suddenly we're, like, swooping down for panty shots. It's like, whoa, I wasn't along for this ride, and now I'm forced to be. That's not what I wanted. But we've got a very different circumstance when we've got characters who are romantically and sexually, to some extent, interested in each other, doing stuff in the fan service realm. It's great. It's exactly what you can make happen. And there have been a number of times over the course of this channel where we've talked about how fan service can work really well and how it can introduce us to the thought processes of our characters, especially the ones who are looking, as well as get us inside the thought processes of our characters who are very often, at least in a fan servicey context, only ever objectified. That is, the camera decides how that character is interacting, and we say, duh, of course the camera decides that. This is fake, like, this is anime. Somebody decided that these characters would move and interact in these particular ways. It's not their prerogative, they're not real. But we can imbue them with a sense of reality by giving them emotions and feelings around themselves and their bodies and their experience of reality. And one of those experiences of reality that's actually real, and we can like, examine it, is the desire to be sexy. It's this crazy thing that we never really talk about. It's like, most people want to be, like, sexy. It's why there's an immense amount of marketing to make you feel like the product that you're going to buy is going to make you sexier. People love it. We love that shit. Male, female, we don't give a fuck. We love it. We love being sexy. We love being seen as sexy. And you can do stuff with characters wondering how they might be perceived as sexy, or knowing that they are and utilizing that as part of their way of going about the world, their way of demonstrating their self to other people. We see it in wonderful ways throughout the Monogatari series, along with all kinds of voyeuristic fan service that is absolutely in the pure mind of the camera, just objectifying its characters. We also get these incredibly intricately designed scenes where characters knowingly reveal of themselves and knowingly, thoughtfully make themselves appealing with purpose in the context of the interactions they're having, as though the camera was not there, and the camera goes along with them for the ride. The characters determine how they are viewed. And there's room for all of this here in a fan servicey styled episode around bathing suits. And I'm super here for it because so far this show has been shockingly nuanced in its stupid silliness. by verging into this world that we've talked about a couple of times, where the characters are action figure archetypes being smashed together, we can actually experience an immense amount of nuance that we have more trouble with when our characters are more serious and in depth. Because everything's a joke, we can make light of things in a way that highlights them that can actually be really serious. Sometimes the greatest truths happen on the stand-up comedy stage or in the goofy shows. And we're going to get some great truths this time, I think, because one of the truths of this world is, shit, that's not the lyric. Fuck. Every woman looks better in a sundress is not the lyric that I was going for, but it is the vibe. One of the great truths of this world is that bathing suits are good, and so is summer sun and hanging out with a bunch of friends. So let's go ahead and dive in and figure out this whole situation and see if any of the stuff that I've spieled about here in the beginning comes to bear in the episode itself. And if it does, we'll end up talking about it at the end. We're going to end up talking about whatever the heck happens at the end anyway, because it's exciting, and I'm excited for it. My face is full of goop. I'm fully gooped up. I had a cold. It was a pretty bad cold. And then I got over it, and then I got an ear infection. It was a pretty bad ear infection. I still mostly kind of like can't hear out of this ear. It's like I can hear the ocean, you know? I hear the ocean. I've seen a doctor. I've got antibiotics. I'm doing the whole thing to take care of it and not die or lose my hearing and stuff. It just sucks. And I've spent a number of days just debilitated on my bed being like, ow. And a number of more days just being like, oh, my face is full of goop. Will it drain? Will it drain? Will it drain? And it won't. So I'm just gonna sit here and record a video because I crave anime, and I know you do too. So I'm here for that. Apologies for the continued delays. It sucks. I'm sorry. That said, we're here right now to watch an episode of the show. It's gonna be fun. Rentaro is gonna be a cute boy, and the girls are gonna be girls. There'll be two versions of this video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with a video up there, linked in the description down there, and a time-based version here up on YouTube, which you're watching right now. Beep beep timer to count you down. Early access on the Patreon. Beep beep timer to count you down. We're swimming suiting. Which swimming suit? Hmm. What are you the type to wear? She can't even admit how she feels about something to herself. I'm sorry, that got me. I think she found the one. Aww. Okay, we've got an identity thing. She says, these cutesy swimsuits will never work on me. But what she's really saying is, I'm not cute. Right? Like, me equals not equals cute. Never. It's an identity thing. Ah. We made it. We got him! One after another. Spring! 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 Pow. Yeah. Vibes. Vibes. A spirit ascending. It's perfect for you. It's perfect for you. No, it's perfect for you. It's perfect. It's perfect for you. Yes. Pat, 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 pat. So we're gonna make this mostly about Karane, huh? That's so sweet. She's just embarrassed. Yeah, it's not like I wanted to show you my swimsuit or anything. We've just completely ignored AI and Hakari for the most part, even though both of them are the bouncing boobliest. I don't. Oh my god. Oh, she's got it in a little waterproof. Oh my god, her little hair curlies. I didn't even see them. Shit. It's so cute. The thing is, she's gonna look so ballin' in her dope ass white swimsuit, which I'm sure that she bought. Oh, she did go in the water. Oh, oh, it's not going well. Oh, somebody help. Yeah, oh. She can't stop. I don't think she can stop. Uh-huh. Ah. The boobliest. She's fully conscious. Fully conscious. She knows what weapons she has, and she's gonna fucking use them. You should. You should, though. Oh my god. She's so straightforward about it. I fucking love it. No sneaking around. No manipulation. Hey, you were doing the same thing, Hakari. Yeah. Well, I think you can die happy now. I think you can die happy now. Praise be. There we go. Please, please again. Yes! Oh god, it's insane. Oh my god. Lost far away, behind enemy lines. Go, go, flee. That's we're making zero progress. Please help me. Somebody help. Grab the wall, grab the wall. Yes. Okay, she's not gonna die. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a while, y'all. You might want to call a lifeguard. Yeah. Mmm. No running. Oh, never mind. The classic. No. It's weird, but alright. My guy, the upper arm bandit. No, yeah, it's still. Oh, yeah. If you know, you know. I love that this character exists. It's a perfect offset. Saved. Yeah, fully deserved. So dope. So yoked. I don't think you want to fight her. What do you mean you're not taking no for an answer? We're gonna find out this episode. It's still this episode. That's so silly. You will what? I will sacrifice myself. You go on ahead. Nipples. Yeah, we're both girlfriends. We're girlfriends together. It doesn't matter. He wouldn't care. Yeah, fuck y'all. Saying fuck you to these pervs. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care. We're all equal in his eyes. What does this even mean? It means that they want to forcibly grope them. I didn't expect that. All of them. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, bro. Okay. Ha ha ha. He'll never. Yeah. It's just an opportunity for each of them to get the win. Hello. Yeah. Pog. Yeah, fuck you. Your whole bullshit is crazy. Ah. We gotta get that. We gotta get her to reveal herself. It is the white ones. Is she gonna start beating him out of panic? That's it? He just needs to know that they're in trouble. He's back from the dead. And then she runs after him. Perfect. Going for the eyes is amazing. You also mean that much to me, though. Mm-hmm. Oh. The deep care. Oh my god, poor Castaway. Please tell me it has, like, Wilson on it. No. No. Well, time to die. Oh. Only because you think that? He'll know like an emperor penguin. He'll hear your voice amongst the crowd. You can do it. You can do it, my quiet one. Quiet baby. Bam! Got her. With the power of love. And Emperor Penguin genes. Thanks, CRISPR. Damn, this is a sappy episode. They all are in some sense, but like, this is cute. She gets to get princess carried and stuff too. This is the bomb. We just gotta deal with Karane. Oh. Aww. Yeah, you earned that one, buddy. You earned that one, buddy. 100%. We just gotta deal with Karane in the swimsuit. Found. Yeah. Just the two of us. We're gonna address it directly. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shizuka might be a little young looking. But me, I'm not cute. I wrote it as the first thing I wrote. Cutesy is not me. I'm nothing. I'm just gross and ugly. I'm just gross and ugly. Take your clothes off. Let's go. I mean, she's super sexy, obviously, right? Worth it. Aww. Aww. Impossible. Impossible. Lies. He always knows what to do and say. Yeah, it's not like my heart is beating that fast or anything. Yours is like faster and stuff. I can only get so close to you is pretty ballin'. Hmm. Different kind of chills. Kisu, 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 kiss, kisu, yeah. We've done every character in the episode so far. Kiss the girl, says Sebastian. Yeah. Karane kawaii, indeed. This is great. That's where we started. That's where we kind of end. Goobers. Hmm. Don't you fuck this up. Ah. That's great. Ah. I'm not usually a fan of sexual assault as a punchline, but as the foundations of a joke, it's maybe a little bit different. Because that went fully all the way back around to being silly enough to be just silly as fuck. And it gives us no, I'm still not a fan of it in general. This episode was full of fan service and also cuteness and interactions between characters that felt warm and real in some ways, and also deeply unreal and unrealistic in some ways. Like the whole section with the sexual assault trio, weird, very strange, deeply unrealistic, super horrifying in a lot of ways, and probably I think a weak way to create the punchline for that, or to create the situation. The purpose of it, to my mind, is to create a differentiation between Rentaro and other guys, and to create a threat in the episode, in the same way that we do with the principal or the vice principal character. And Rentaro gets to step in and be like, "No, I'm a good person, and that's bad." It's a little bit thin, but that's like the only thing in the episode that irks me even a little bit. Throughout, our episode is focused on our characters' bodies and how they feel about them. And I'm glad that I talked about this at the beginning, because it turns out to be the core premise of the episode. Outside of Shizuka spinning away into the Whirlpool Island and being lost for all eternity, most of our episode is about Karane Inda's inability to like see herself as cute, especially when compared with people who are more sexually developed than she has. And she takes that as like that equals sexy. So they're sexy and hot, and Shizuka is cute, and me, I'm not any of those things. I'm an identity formed out of negation. My identity is formed out of all of these things that I see as other people and know in my heart of hearts that I'm not. But is she not? Is she not? No, that depends entirely on who's watching or looking or observing, right? So we get this really interesting examination of self-esteem and how fractured self-esteem can be developed. And then we get what can be done about it, at least from an outside perspective. In this weird context where all of these girlfriends are directly competing, and Rentaro's the best boy ever who's able to see all of these different people and be deeply attracted to all of them, we get to play this little story out and show Karane Inda that she is beautiful in his eyes, that she's awesome, and more importantly is herself. And it doesn't make sense to be wanting someone else's body or someone else's existence, because this is the one that you have, and it's the one that Rentaro loves. And that's what it all comes back around to, is that her worry isn't something inherent. It's not like she actually thinks that she'll be inherently better if she has bigger boobs. It's that she's socialized to think that in the context of relationship, her value comes from her breasts. And over the course of this, we sort of dismantle that a little bit and demonstrate for Rentaro that that's not the case. And it should be obvious, right? Like, he's also with Shizuka, who's completely got zero secondary sex characteristics, right? Like, is literally a physically in the developmental stage of being a child. And we could get into that, and it's kind of weird, but for our purpose of this framing, it serves as a really great answer or response or counterpoint to Karane Inda's assumption. She assumes that, like, these other girls with their big boobs, that's the bar, right? Like, that's the bar. I don't meet the bar in terms of this one aspect, therefore I'm unworthy. And the fact that there's another character who way further doesn't meet the bar doesn't seem to cross her mind, and she's able to just dismiss it because she can be like, yeah, but she's cute, she's like a different thing, without ever understanding that she might also be a different thing. Like, there might be something particular in her that creates a sense of moe and a sense of attraction in the people around her. And it might be that giving that up in the pursuit of being somebody else would remove that attractiveness. I think this is the core and the most important piece to take away from the episode, is that socially accepted, like, attractiveness metrics aren't the attractiveness metrics that your partner most likely is actually deeply aligned with in their core being. That might not be true. Like, let's say you're 10 out of 10 on all the socially accepted attractiveness metrics, and you're a Vogue model or whatever, then maybe your best partner would be attracted to exactly those things, because that allows the two of you to match. And you're just going to have a hell of a hard time finding that, because everybody else is looking for that too, in the socially conditioned, half-hearted way that they do. For Karane Inda, though, it's just like, it's so simple, right? From the outset, Rentaro is like, you're beautiful and I'm in love with you as you. And she's like, but I don't have big titties. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand how that's a computation in this framework. Like, you have your titties and your Eunice, and that's what I'm in love with. So that it looks different from somebody else who other people say is really pretty doesn't matter in this context very much, does it? It doesn't. Hmm. This is powerful. That there's something really potent to this differentiation of like of a person's expectations and perspective on self versus what other people see in them and what other people might want. There are so many layers of assumptions. It's like assumption big titties equal sexy, right? And also that Rentaro wants those. And also that Rentaro wants those in the context of our relationship. Because he does want those in the context of his relationship with Hakari, because they're a part of who Hakari is, right? And he does want Nano as Nano and her like yoked out super gym babe thing. He wants that too in the context of her. And Shizuka's tiny child body, let's not get into, he wants as well in the context of Shizuka. So why wouldn't he want Nano in the context of Nano? It becomes absurd a little bit to be like, if we understand the premise correctly, it becomes absurd to say that because you lack some aspect, this person who loves you will love you less. But that's the whole idea, is uncovering that absurdity for this character so that they can become themselves more. And in a way, in a real deep sense, that's what a lot of psychotherapy is examining people and finding out where their assumptions don't match up with reality in a way that causes them harm or restricts them. And then figuring out a way to change the assumptions so that they match better with reality, so that the framework that's being run with allows you to do the things that you want to do. Because Karane Inda has no ability to listen to herself, but she's here looking at swimsuits on her own after school because she wants to wear a cute swimsuit and be cute in Rentaro's eyes. She's in every way the opposite of what she says. She doesn't believe herself to be cutesy, but she desperately wants to be, and that's our tension and conflict in the episode. It's, I want to be cute, and I'm not cute. And the answer to it is, actually you are, you just can't see it. You need somebody to mirror it back to you so that you can believe it. And that's exactly what happens over the course of the episode. And it's exactly what would happen with like a well-trained therapist who would uncover this differentiation that's like, well, so do you have any other friends who have like slimmer body types and do you think they're cute? Yeah, for sure. Of course I do. A bunch, totally. Okay, well, what about these, like, all these, like, models who also have slimmer body types and maybe not gigantic bazongas? Are they cute? And just, like, go through it and figure out where the part is that says, no, all of them are cute. They're totally cute, but not me, even though I look exactly like them. I'm different, because it's me. And you unpack that logic a little bit, and you untangle this complex, this weird bullshit, and the character goes, oh fuck, can I be cute? And then you get them into a low stakes situation where they can demonstrate and see if they're cute and get that mirrored back to them and get it a little bit affirmed. And in our context, it's a pretty high stakes situation, and it's directly from their partner, and it's back and forth and stuff, but it still ends up being wholesome and trustworthy, trust filled, and she gets to feel that sense of actually being the thing that she wants to be and doesn't believe that she could be. It's really good. I think it's really good. I'm not the type to wear these cutesy swimsuits. And then just there, it's like, me equals not this. Even though she wants desperately to be that. But I'm not that. There's, I'm gonna go on a weird seeking of a tangent here, because I met a lady on a train who was a life coach and like business coach, and we ended up sitting next to each other on the train, and we just talked for the whole 6 hours of the train ride. Just talked straight through it, talked about all sorts of stuff, and there was a portion of what she talked about that had to do with of what we talked about that had to do with people developing their identities in a way that that like frames things as is when they should be potentials. And I want to look into it and see if I can find the the system that she was working off of, and see if I can find anything useful to grow off of this. Mm-hmm. The thing that she was talking about was referred to as the myth of is and I, was how she phrased it to me. And I don't understand it completely, but I do understand a little bit of it. And the place that she got it from talks about exploring the nature of what we consider our reality. And then the I that's in that, which is a collection of characteristics and attributes and experiences, and taking apart the nature of that reality to observe, instead of the particulars of the realities that we construct, just the fact that it is human and normal to construct those realities and then forget that we're the ones who built them, and then continue living on in them, the constructed reality that we live in, that we believe are the limits and the bounds of our existence, without ever recognizing that there might be things outside of that that are possible for us, that are just right there for you to reach out and take. And it's this, the piece that stuck in my mind was this myth of is as the center of it. Karane is not cute. That's an is. It's how it is in reality. It's unshakable. It's the nature of, it's the cause and effect nature of existence. It can't be changed. I'm not the type to wear these cutesy swimsuits. I'm not cute. That's an is in negation. It sets a boundary, and Karane can't exist outside of that boundary. So doing things that would be cute, even if they're natural for her, even if they're a normal part of existence that makes her feel like a whole human being and feel like she's following her heart and whatever, they don't align with her is, with her fundamental story about the nature of reality, and so they're impossible, and so they're excluded from the mind and gone. And I think this is the really powerful piece of this first part of the episode, is that you can completely confine yourself by beliefs about yourself that aren't true. And I hear people do it all the time, and I'll list through some examples, like, I'm not mechanically adept, right? I'm not handy. Okay? So that precludes me from ever taking care of my stuff, from ever being able to figure out how things work, from ever having like a broader understanding of the machines and systems that exist around me in my life. When it's provable for most people that with a couple of YouTube videos, you could actually clean your car really effectively, or fix the sink or whatever, right? You could do those things, but not if your is I'm not handy. I'm not that. There's no could be. There's no room for shifting or change. There's no I am an amalgamous individual who can learn all sorts of things. Like, I'm a person who can be whatever I want to be. I decide how other people will interpret. Like, I can't control how people will interpret me, but I'll decide how I experience myself in the world. And so if my experience of myself is expressing myself as though I'm cute, then I'm going to do that with no is there that says you're not cute though, right? And I'll go through without the shame that would keep me from doing those things, that would keep me from existing as I actually am. I'm not good at math. I'm lazy. How about that for an is? The person that's me is lazy. That's just the way it is. No other factors might be contributing to that. It's not part of some other set of circumstances that are going on, and it can't change. It just is how it is. We protect ourselves by accepting things like that, by being like, well, I just am this way, and now I don't have to deal with the thoughts about being this way, right? Like, I don't have to deal with those intrusive thoughts. They're like, maybe I should get off my ass and do something. It's like, but I can't. Why not? Because I'm lazy, and that precludes me doing things. So I'm going to follow my identity instead of doing the things that I want to do that would actually make my life better. The power of self-denial. It takes Karane to a place. It serves as such a powerful foundation for her tsundere-ness. because tsundere is just like an archetype that we slap on characters, but man, Karane has a deep foundation for it, this deep internal self-esteem insecurity thing that causes her to say the opposite of the things that she thinks. She actually thinks that the swimsuit is super cute. She's looking at it and being like, wow, this is super cute. And what she has to say is, it's not like I think these are cute or anything, because they can't be. Because if they were, I would want to wear them and be seen as cute. And that can't happen because I'm not cute, even though I want to be. And even though I'm the one who decided that, and it's not a thing that I can decide. It's true, and I know it's true, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Oh, Rentaro convinced you otherwise. Mission accomplished, problem solved. That's pretty fucking cool. That's my favorite part of the episode by far, is Karane's gooberiness, and I really think it's really strong. Fan service. Skin. Flesh. Nubile bodies scantily clad in bathing suitses. And drawn as such. We should be clear about that. They are drawn as such. There's a way to draw characters in swimsuits that's really desexualized, really like low on sexualization. K-On does it quite a bit. You just sort of make blob characters who are like little blobs, and you just don't draw the secondary sex characteristics too much. We're not doing that here. We are not doing that here. From the very outset, we're not doing that here. We're showing the parts and the bits and the bobs and the zongos and well, there are a couple of aspects to it. One is that both of these characters, at least Hakari, 100% knows exactly what she's doing and has dressed to impress. Duh. Like 100%. The boob curtain and everything. Nano might just be wearing the most efficient swimsuit. Like it just uses the right amount of fabric or whatever. I don't know. Both of them are gorgeous and drawn really sexily, as though our eye should be drawn to them. As though we should be looking at them and even ogling them, because that's what the camera is doing, because that's what your boy is doing. And I have no problem with it. I think it's actually great. I think it's just right. I think this is exactly how a young man would and should act if he sees his lovely girlfriend in sexy attire. This is cool. It's good. I can die happy now. Indeed, right? Oh my god, Shizuka's also so cute. And I think this starts to set up exactly the premise, or like the core of the episode, right? Shizuka dressing the way that Shizuka wants to dress is Shizuka, and that makes Shizuka Shizuka, and that's who he's dating, and that's why he's dating them, and that's why that's that thing, and that, if it were different, it would not be good. He says it to Karane at the end, like, I can't imagine you being more beautiful than you are. You're great right now. Like, don't fuck around and try to be someone else. And from there, we kind of just ignore the bodies. We address Shizuka's swimsuit, and we don't address the others. It's only once they start actively utilizing their physiques for a purpose that we start really directly addressing it. That, and when we have Karane being laser focused on the big titties around her, in opposition to her own. Oppaisition. Ha! Ha! That's stupid. Okay. Whirling and pulling away. Survival training. Bouncy bazongas for the bazongaing. She is doing it on purpose. And then, so is Nano. I don't see you all with lecherous eyes is such a great piece of tension. It's such a great piece of tension. Yes, you do, and that's okay. And I think that's maybe like the underlying framework of our whole fan service discussion so far, and most discussions of fan service, right? There's this deep sense of trying to maintain the moral high ground. There are also lots of reactors and people who just are like, fuck yeah, titties! Ah! There's like the old guy who does that. Is always watching like Seven Deadly Sins and shit and just being like, big old anime titties. Good for him. But I think there's always this tension of like, I'm a man of culture, and as a man of culture, I enjoy the fan service, but I'm not a lecher. I would not fap to these characters. Never! I'm not wrong and weird like you perverts. I just like anime titties. You should see them with lecherous eyes, though, and if your girlfriend's rubbing her titties on you, it probably should make something happen. I think that this is really fun. It creates all sorts of layers of tension, and one's own sexual feelings, like as an observer, kind of get lost and muddled in what's going on between the characters and who's in control of what's being looked at where and why. It becomes all kind of muddled and chaotic, and I really like it. It's confusing, and there's a bunch of good fun to it, and it gets me out of thinking about it. It gets me into just experiencing these crazy events with these characters, and there's something about that that makes me buy in more and honestly forget, even though we're doing these totally like silly contrived circumstances where this like unemotional character has you feel up her breasts because there's this underlying theme or idea that she doesn't really care and it's just efficient or like or solid, but then this has ripple effects toward everybody else. But then it also just serves as a sexy boob groping scene where we get this like fulfillment of a grand fantasy of touching titties that then sets up that fantasy is one that's shared by all sorts of guys and is sought to be fulfilled in really horrifying ways. Super weird and interesting. Like, simultaneously, we have this very wholehearted going forward on the sexiness of our characters and enjoying them and them enjoying being sexy and showing it and reflecting it back at themselves. And then we've got this feeling of our main character where he doesn't want to be a lecher and he doesn't want to be bad. He wants to be a good partner to them. And that includes being somewhat like not standoffish, but like, and not prudish either, but being noble, right? Like being noble, not exploitative. And then you've got these other guys that are separated out from that who are so not noble and are trying to do it themselves. Insane. The whole mouth to mouth sequence is wonderful. Shizuka getting trapped is terrifying and extremely cute, and I really like the sequence of events as our sort of B plot. And a male lifeguard. Only a male lifeguard. God damn. So these are an archetype. Are the beach boys who are kind of gangsters who imply that they want to go have some fun, and then the main character shows up and saves the girl. So we just take it way to the extreme, where they don't just want to have fun, they want to grope them. But they don't want to grope them in an illegal way, just in a slightly less illegal way that's still illegal. Insane. Yeah, oppai. So what is this here for? I think what this does is it puts the bar low. I think that's what it does. I think that's what this is for, is to put the bar really low and to say, like, look, you can enjoy touching titties. And in fact, if you enjoy touching titties and don't be a creep about it, you might get to. The bar is not trying to fucking physically assault people when they're in public. That's the bar. Don't be a creepy asshole and try to pick a fight over it, and maybe you'll get what you want. We follow up direct sexual wish fulfillment with direct opposite of that, and punishment for these characters for acting out. It's pretty straightforward, I think. This is like a dumb morality play. Do I like it? Maybe not. You know what I do like about it? This fucking shot of AI Nano. Mommy? Mommy! But I think there's something about this shot and a couple others of AI that are worth highlighting. Throughout, when we show these characters, they're drawn really sexy. And we're drawing them in a way that we like see Hakari's thigh gap, and we see the outline of AI's nipple, right? And it's like, they're sexy because they just are, right? And it doesn't feel to me like we're voyeuristically watching them as though the camera was operated by these guys. It just feels like the camera is being operated sort of neutrally, or by Rentaro's perspective when we're in Rentaro's perspective, or by the girl's perspective when we're not. And I think it's really solid. I think it's a great way to do fan service. I think this episode is all around fan service, cuteness, and sexual attractiveness. And I think it really manages to make a number of shockingly connected points come together and make sense. I come out of the episode being like, that made sense. The story with Karane Inda made sense. The way that these other characters interact with each other made sense. And all of it was fun and wish fulfilling, and exactly the way that I would want a crazy pool date with a bunch of cute girlfriends to go. Opportunities to do a little bit of sexy stuff, opportunities to do a little bit of heartfelt stuff, to spend time swimming and exploring, and even an opportunity to stand up for your girls, prevent them from getting weirdly assaulted by some fucking weirdos. What a good time. What a good show. What fun. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Did I miss anything? Is there anything about this episode that irks you? Anything about it that stands out to you as, like, really good that I didn't talk about? I'd love to hear about it. Whether it's the animation or the style or the flow or the way that we shoot these characters in their sexy undergarments. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time for more 100 Girlfriends, because they're so cute and they ain't gonna girlfriend themselves. Peace.